School, which was The Compound Effect.
Right.
One of Darren Hardy's books.
Yeah, they're just giving away for free.
I know. So anyway, so what he had said today in the message was really apropos for Q School. He said, find something that works, then rinse and repeat. And he told a story about how he loved Jim Rohn, which I also love Jim Rohn. And if he was still around, I would go 6 times like he went 6 times. And he said a lot of his friends were like, why do you keep going to the same thing? Go to something different. Just, you're going to hear the same information all the time. And he said, but you know what? I did. And I laughed at the same jokes and I got the same messages. He said, but I heard it differently every time I went. Even though it was the same guy and the same presenter, I heard it differently because I was in a different place. I was thinking differently. I was in a different position in my network marketing, and he said, so I heard it differently. And that's the way I feel about Q School. I know, we don't get to go till National Marketing Director. I think Maura said she got to go, what'd you say, once or twice you got to go? Twice. And then it's almost like you want to go again because it's so amazing. It's like an intimate, and that's why I wondered how they were going to do it over on Zoom, but they were able to carry it off. And it was a very intimate, even though I think there was 119 people on the call is what I saw. Very intimate. You felt like you were interacting, directly with all the speakers. So the first lineup was obviously Cheryl and Jeff, since they were hosting, this is their Q School. The company has a Q School as well, but this is their Q School that they started 19 years ago. This is the first virtual one that they had, but they shared their story. And that's what's really special. They talked about, okay, we tell you our stories, Jeff tells his story, Cheryl tells hers, but now we're going to tell you the real story. And I am not going to share that with you because that's one of the things that you get to look forward to when you go to Q School. But it's just, you really see that vulnerable side of both of them and how, they struggle just like we all do. It's just a matter of, just continue to keep going and continue your momentum and you'll get to where you want to go if that's what you want to do. So they talked about that. Jeff talked about the day he met Jay Martin for the first time. And then Jay came out and he started talking. I really want to show that picture. Anyway, he, of course, if you've ever heard him speak, he always talks immediately about getting a buddy. And he talked about how amazing this company is right now and how many lives we are touching. There's over 8,000 health professionals recommending Juice Plus right now. We have over 15,000 partners that have been with the company for more than 15 years. And there's 7,500 schools that have Tower Gardens in them. So we are really, really making a huge impact on so many people. He said, let's lean on others and let others lean on us. And then of course he went through the, keep it simple, make it personal, make a list, keep adding. He said, to build your confidence, use the fact that this company has been around for 50 years. We have 25 years of research, never give up. And he was talking about how the word no is just on backwards. So just keep on going, use it as a catalyst and always learn by doing. He talked about technology and touchology, use them both, use the technology that we have with social media and our virtual office and everything, but make sure you're connecting with people to doing touchology, as he called it. He said, procrastination is the kiss of death. 85% of Juice Plus partners are women because they want their own business. They want to be able to control, being able to spend time with their families. And, there's nothing like having your kids finally eating vegetables once you, introduce them to this product that makes them want to be a part of it. He talked about omegas. He said, omegas are here to stay. They've been doing research on that to come, been doing research over 5 years. Complete the 30 whole food ingredients, Tower Garden. Oh, and then talked about Tower Garden. Tower Garden pictures are, worth 1,000 words. Just share your Tower Garden as much as you can, post it and pass it on to people, mail them out if you have to. And at this time, there are over 130,000 children participating in the Healthy Starts for Families. So we are doing, the company is just doing amazingly. And then Paulo Texera came on, He's talked about how we have been able to move forward despite the COVID. That even though the normalcy is not around, the normalcy won't be back until he feels until the vaccine is proven. The harshness, to harness the emotional content that we are experiencing right now. There's a sense of urgency. You want to interact with more people now. The opportunity to feel better and income for the next 6 months is what people are looking for. They're really looking for something that they can hold on to. It's what will sustain our momentum, he said. Oh, and this is what I really loved. He talked about just like when I got off the call, I thought to myself, you know, this is just, and it was 5 hours, by the way, 12 to 5. And I thought, really, 5 hours? But it went by so quickly. It was amazing. But what I really felt when I got off the call is the integrity of this company, which is what I felt the first time I ever went to a conference 10 years ago in Phoenix. It wasn't just the company, but it's the people behind the company. And there is no doubt in my mind that they don't have our backs. You know, we just have to be out there talking to people, and they are not only taking care of the shipping and the billing and all that kind of stuff, but they're constantly working on improving what we can offer people. So he had talked about all things digital, which is the new what do you call it? Virtual office and everything that they're coming up with that should hopefully be out sometime this month. He said it's designed to give you back your own time, which sounds good to me, because we know we could spend a lot of time looking here and looking there and going to Freedom Revolution and mission driven, you know, and all this kind of stuff. It's going to be all condensed into one thing, and the customer will see the same as we do, you know, as far as looking up information. So that's going to be awesome. They are also working and exploring on loyalty programs, working on loyalty incentives for longtime customers globally. This is not just the United States, but they're doing this throughout the whole world. And I don't know if you saw, and I just saw this the other day on Juice Plus Insights, how they're working on now on contacting old distributors and see if they're interested in getting connected again. The company's actually doing that. And also sending out samples of omegas to people that are on the trios and that. You can look it up on Insights. If you scroll all the way down to the bottom, they're talking about what different things that they're doing just to build up more momentum. They're talking about narratives, more refreshing narratives, simple, easy ways to share information. And then product innovation. He said, get ready for the next conference in the spring. You're going to hear things about the shakes, about the chewables, and about bringing TerraGuards into Europe and Mexico. So he said the time is now to plant the seeds because we are moving forward. We're expanding. They did expanded this year in the Czech. I think this is ones they were talking about expanding into: the Czech Republic, Indonesia, Russia, Brazil, Portugal, and Greece. He said this is a really good time to invest your time to build your business. And despite COVID, as disruptive as this has been, we are thriving. We have become a beacon of good news for all our suppliers who know that we can pay our bills on time and continue to build strong relationships with our vendors, which is another thing. You know, you don't think about all the people that have been affected by that, but they can, you know, the vendors that work with the Juice Plus company know they're getting paid because we're thriving and doing well. So he said people are awake with emotion. You know, that's where, you know, people are looking for something. They know that they need to take control of their health and their wealth. So, and we have both to offer. And then Tamara Sachs, who a lot of, you know her, have heard her, wonderful speaker. I'm just going to do a couple of the highlights that she talked about. And if you haven't heard her say this, I love when she says this. If you knew what I know, you would never miss a day. And then she said, look at multivitamins. They were invented over 70 years ago. Are we healthier? Are we thinner? There's no research to prove we are any better off than when they came out with them 70 years ago. What is the answer? Food is the answer, and that's what we have to offer. If we ate 60 to 80% plant-based, we would reduce our sickness by 75%. And as we say, the problem is, who does that? So Juice Plus supplies what we don't eat. She was talking about the vine ripened food and all this kind of stuff. One of the things that I never knew, resveratrol in grapes is in the seeds.
Oh, yeah.
I did not know that. She talked about juice plus being pre-digested. It breaks up the fiber to make it easier to digest. It's the perfect food for your microbiome. Less than 10% of our healthcare goes towards nutrition, as we know that. And she also said too, listen, I'm a research geek. I love all the research and everything, but you do not need to know the research. Just know we have it, that you can pass it on. And she said it's really important to, especially when you're talking to health professionals, to make sure you have your summary, your personalized research summary, which you get right off your virtual office. You just print it out with and it automatically prints your name on the bottom. But she said always have those available if you're talking to a health professional. Don't try to sell, just educate them. That's as far as the doctors. And that's, I think, it on there. You can't be healthy if you're broke, isolated. We have a chance to help all those things. And that's that. Do you have anything to add? We said we were going to kind of play this over because Donna took notes, I took notes, and we're going to, if there's anything you want to fill in there, Donna.
You did a really good job, Susie. As I was going along, I was looking at my notes and you hit every one of those highlights. So
yeah, they were amazing.
I know, and you hit it in how it makes you feel. You just feel the heart of this company, and a couple of, I'm going to talk about Sean Hopkins and a couple of things that he talks about and says. It's just like, it's so amazing that this company just continues on the way they do for all these years. So good job, Suze.
Thanks.
Good job, Susie. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I'm apologizing for my white face, but otherwise I won't be able to see my notes because I've got highlighted in yellow and I can't see them without my light on them. So, so Sean Hopkins, he to me is just so exciting and inspiring. I remember him 15 years ago when I started, and he was a young pup. Remember, Maura? He was just the cutest thing, and he has just gone through the ranks, and he just is excited every single day he wakes up about what he's going to do next. So he did talk about the digital launch in September and said there will be something new each month. So it's going to come out in little parts. But he wakes up and he says, so what are we going to do great today? And his loyalty program that Susie touched on, it's also going to be for partners as well. So not just for customers. And we've had a couple teammates already get some shake for their Tower Garden orders. He talked about the combination of products and the stories that go along with the products. And I think we've heard this before also, the bundling process. So instead of bundling for everybody, every product we have right off the bat, then they tend to diminish as they go along. They're working on what the optimal bundle is going to be, and because they want them to stay longer instead of do more. So they're working on that. Something called white spaces. They want to appeal to the Hispanic market, and they're trying to get more millennials back in with us. Product renovation, as Susie mentioned, we're going to learn more about that in the fall. He's so cute. He says, we hear you. When you talk about the complete and the soy, he said, we hear you. He was like this close to saying, we're working on it, but I think they are. He said in the middle of the next year, we're going to hear more about what's happening with the chewables and the soy, which would be great for lots of people. He has an ambition statement, combine stronger e-commerce and digital, different ways to put ourselves out there to attract customers. So they're actually talking about advertising, which was exciting. He talked about the global virtual event on October 3rd. And Bear Grylls, you probably all heard that Bear Grylls, who is a longtime friend of the company, been with them or been related to them for about 20 years. He kind of disappeared for a while, but he'll be in an event sometime in November. And there's just going to be lots of worldwide events, October, November, all over the world that we can participate in. Connection and collaboration he talked about. He just said we're better together. He says that they are listening to the leaders of our company, and Cheryl, our leader, being one of the main people that they really listen to. And I know Maura has told us that over and over. She's a big deal. But he said he's never been more convicted in his 27 years with the company. So you could just feel this coming out of him, and you're like jumping up and down in your chair. And he just says again, the company hears us, they truly listen, and they make changes, which is not like any other company that I know, or even teaching. They say they hear you, but they never changed anything. And we have seen changes made all the time. So it's so nice to have that. He said, this is the legacy of Jay Martin, but it's our legacy too. So what we're doing, it's ours. And Cheryl and Jay thanked him Sean for coming up and saying all those fabulous things. And then the next exciting person to me, and Susie agreed, she loved Amanda Wright also. I know a lot of you have seen her before. She just bubbles over with enthusiasm. She's a life coach. She does yoga. She's the one that built her NMD status in Uganda, where she didn't know anybody. She said she built it on her bed. She did have a desk, but mainly her stuff was on the bed and on the dining room table. And I'm sure you can all visualize your desks and things like that. She says she's just a lifelong learner. She's been in it for 7 years, and it just never gets old. She just loves it. She talked a lot about transition and how you need to keep moving to the next stage. And she said, there are other Amandas out there. So when she said yes and she dove in, so that was really cute. Like, she's not the only one that just is diving in head over heels. And she got burnt out on her healthcare and really wanted to change. So when she was in Uganda, Linda Evanton said to her, what if you could share it from there? And she just took it from there. She says, keep visions change. So create a little vision along the way and action steps. And what she said was action steps are the same. We all know what those are, but your vision is what's going to get you to the next step. She said she never did a live event when she got to NMD, which everyone kind of laughed at. She just said, stay plugged into your mentor and continue to grow. If you get excited about growth, your team will get excited and have a vision for your team. She said, visualize yourself up on stage as getting your NMD promotion. What is that going to feel like? She talked about feeling what it's going to be like. And she said, you'll be a different person than you are right now. And you're actually not ready to be there yet, as she's talking to us, senior sales coordinators, sales coordinators. She says, you have to earn your stripes. Be excited about who's coming into your life and who's going to have the leadership mindset. Have a long-term vision, 5, 10, 15 years. Commit to your vision and your journey. Ask good questions of yourself and your team. What do I do to attract good teammates? What mentors do I need to watch? What morning rituals? Leaders are resourceful. You don't want somebody just following along. You want them to ask questions. Leaders invest in themselves and their teams, taking ownership of their own business. How can you invite better? She would ask questions of herself. How can I invite better? And I know we've done that too. It's like, how can we do this better? Bring more energy into your business. She had 3 mantras to NMD, and she just said, I got this. I got it. I got it. I don't know what I've got, but I got it. And she said, lots can happen. Even in the last 10 days of the month, lots can happen. And she says, I'm a leader of leaders, not energy suckers and followers. She says, where you are now was your vision. Now you need a new vision. Imagine what it's going to feel like when you're up getting 39 club. Bad days, everybody's had that same bad day. Believe in yourself. We use 2% of our brain. What if we stopped to think? Transitions. Traditions. Sorry, not transitions. Traditions. Things that people can rely on your team. Duplication and rhythm. Like some of the traditions we have, Monday nights, and then we've got them scattered all over the place now. This is interesting. People who get you to a position may not be the same ones that get you to the next position. Thought that was super interesting. That's where I got distracted. Susie, is there anything that I missed with Amanda? Life got in my way for a few minutes before.
No, I think you covered everything. I mean,
Okay.
I took about the same amount of notes.
Okay.
It's good.
So she's just super exciting. I came away with actually feeling like I could make a goal, which is not my forte, but think of it as a vision and your steps. And I've got this. We've all got this. And lastly was Lauren Lahav, and lots of us have seen a lot of her. She said no, she talked about her story, and she said no to Jeff Roberti for a very long time. She didn't want to get involved. And finally, he sent her 24 red roses when her baby boy was born. And she said he understands relationships. And 7 years after that, she finally said yes to Jeff. So she wasn't, she didn't say yes right away. And Jeff just said, come to conference with me and tell me no afterwards. I thought that was cool. She brought friends to her first conference, and she said, if I wasn't going to do this business the right way, I wasn't going to do it at all. She says, take a look at yourself. She has a lot of one-liners. Get rid of the stinking thinking. Would you follow you? And she constantly was asking Cheryl, even though Jeff invited her in, Cheryl became her mentor. She just always said, tell me what I need to do. And again, she just wanted to get out there and kick ass, as she says. 3 things. She's big on keeping it simple. 1, 2, 3, too many. And she says, get on the Monday night calls. Wide front line customers. That's what she said her 1, 2, 3s are. Answers she gives to people sometimes, I don't know, but it sure makes sense to me. Now or never attitude. You never know when you're going to save a person. People either need money or want more of it. Own your mistakes and move on. And again, what will it feel like when you have your first NMD? And she talks about how her job is to get people to the highest commission possible. And lastly, she just talks about goals, finding the cracks in your business, your DMO. Imagine, like Maura says, imagine a long line to infinity. She calls Cheryl every day. From 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock every day, she puts her goggles on and she stays laser focused on her business. And again, she said, you're going to hit bumps in the road, lots of bumps, lots. Just keep going. Never forget where you came from and what you did when you said yes. Doors are opening. All you have to do is walk through. She's not a shred person. She says, know your boundaries. You don't have to do everything. And don't pull away from the mothership. People pull away too soon. And don't forget your traditions, establish traditions with your team. Again, get rid of the stinking thinking. And she's super grateful to Cheryl. She has her notebook, she prints out worksheets, and oh my God, when she flipped through her PVC report, it was like, Susie, remember? It was like this. It was like a notebook. It was so huge. She says, press the restart button every single day. And what will I do great today? Simple, with, wash, rinse, repeat. She says, I'm not perfect. I do me, and people want you. And that was Lauren.
That was great, Donna. Thank you. Anybody else? Did I miss any? You got your 3, right?
I did. Susie, anything I missed?
Add anything to Lauren's?
The only thing I saw on Lauren was the one thing I wrote that I really liked that she said is find out who you are not.
Oh,
Find
yeah.
out who you are.
Wait, find out who you are not?
Yeah, to find out who you are.
She was talking about that when she was going off to conference and she wanted to bring people. She wanted to find out who she was not. She didn't want to be that. If I'm going to go to conference, I needed to eliminate who I was not. I wasn't going to do this business if I wasn't willing to do it myself. Take a look at yourself and get rid of the stinking thinking.
That comes from, thank you so much, Donna. That was great. You and Susie, I really appreciate it. As I said, it was my favorite event. And one of these days, I don't want to go backwards. I want to go forward, but I'd love to go to a Q school again because it's very intimate, like you said, and you'll never, Cheryl especially has an amazing memory. And so she will never forget that you came to her Q school, and she will always make you feel special because you took the time to do that. So as you guys travel up and travel on the stairway to heaven and you move up on your positions, it's going to be really exciting for you to really get to know her better. She's an amazing person, and there's something, they call her the Velvet Hammer. And she kind of is a velvet hammer. You don't, let me ask it, show of hands, how many of you would be late on a call if Cheryl was going to call you at 8:30 tonight, how many of you would be late on that call? None of you. There's just something about her where she has an expectation of success and you rise to that level. And so I'm so glad you guys went, and thank you so much for sharing with us.
Our pleasure.
Really.
We did get a 10-minute break in the middle of the day, right, Susie? We had 10 minutes. Cheryl sat there the entire time. She never froze her screen. She did it the entire time.
She's like Paul McCartney. He never leaves the stage. He's the same way. So I've got a couple of questions I'd like you to write down that maybe will help you get really excited about why we do what we do. I'd like you to kind of think about what value do you put on your health? It's kind of like that's the same question as I ask people when I say, what is being healthier and what would it feel like and look like to you to be healthier? So what value do you put on your health? Because if you can describe that value, you can really educate people on why it's important to be your own self-advocate with your health. And the other question is, what value do you put on Juice Plus? How many of you would stop Juice Plus? How many of you would even consider stopping Juice Plus after knowing what we know? So none of you, right? None of you. You can't. I mean, it's my health insurance. It's my safety belt. It's my safety net. I can't think of going through a day without Juice Plus. So as you think of these things, I'd really like you to also, I love that Donna shared that, Donna shared that Amanda talked about a vision. If you're not a goal-oriented person, I'm a very goal-oriented person, but if you're not, change your mindset to the vision, because what is your next vision? Where are you going? Start in small increments, you know? We're all not seeing people that we used to see. I'm not going to my yoga studios anymore. But I'm not losing. I just signed up a new representative, and I'm sorry she didn't get on the call. I got waylaid today with everything I was doing for the Take Action Tuesday event with Dr. Sears and everybody tomorrow. And I didn't really give her, my fault, clear direction on how to get on. But I'm not giving up. Remember I said last week, I talked to a lot of people and all I heard was crickets. I wasn't even hearing no's. I was not hearing anything. And so I will not give up in looking for new representatives. So this is where I'm going. I'm going back to the representatives that have already been in the business, and I'm contacting them. I'm going back to my customers and asking for referrals. And who do they know that might need another source of income? Who do they know that's very concerned about their health? Who do they love and care about that needs to hear about Juice Plus? And may I have their name and telephone number? And then finally, I'm going back to canceled customers. And that's an interesting process because lots of times I'm hearing crickets, nothing. But then every once in a while, I hear from somebody. So, you know, I think of Bobby Pageant with the purple marbles. Who am I to stop talking to people and stop reaching out to people? I reached out to 40 people today on this event tomorrow night with Dr. Sears. And I wanted to read you the questions that I'm going to ask Dr. Sears so you can use it when you invite tomorrow.
Laura, can I ask a quick question?
Sure.
What are you saying to the canceled?
Oh, I'm saying lots of times I can't even find information on them. My canceled customers. I used to have binders with my customers in there, but because I'm in show shape over here, I packed all those boxes away. So I'm being very authentic, and I'm just saying, I know that Juice Plus made sense to you, and I know that you really care about your health, and everyone's immune system is top of mind right now. So I thought I'd reach out to you and see if you or someone in your family would like to revisit Juice Plus and get back into the daily habit of eating it every day.
That's awesome. Perfect.
And I'm getting responses. Okay. I mean, people aren't, knocking down my door, but they're definitely getting back to me. And I'm also saying that when I have the response that we can't afford it, I'm flipping them right into I always talk about the business as I talk about the product. So when they say no to the business, I can right away go back to the product. And when they say they can't afford the product, I can go to the shake, because the shake is less than $2 a day. And that's, you know, and you talk about the fruit, the vegetable, and vineyard. That's $250 a day, and the quad is $350 a day. So, you know, you talk in those kind of things. We could bring it back, as Jay always did, to the cup of coffee. Starbucks coffee is what? How much is Starbucks coffee now? I don't even know. I boycott the place. $5, $4. So, I mean, you brew their coffee at home and eat Juice Plus. So these are the questions I wanted to, did that answer it, Sue?
Thank you.
You're welcome. So basically what I'm saying I'll elaborate a little bit more tomorrow night, but I'm basically saying to get Dr. Sears going, I'm asking him, well, I'll just read you the question. Every day, people are thinking about how to keep themselves and their families healthy. Many feel they're doing the best they can to comply, yet there seems to be important information missing about nutrition. We would like to hear your thoughts on how everyone can have a healthy immune system. What do we have to do to optimize our immune system, Dr. Sears? And so he's going to talk on that for half an hour. And then when he's done with that, we're going to have some questions. And these are the 3 questions. And I wanted to read you these questions so you could digest them and think of people as I'm reading them that need to be invited personally to this event, okay? Because it's not too late. Nobody's doing anything. They're all watching TV. Get off the dumb TV and get on your computer, okay? So here we go. Parents and adults are anxious and concerned that everyone, including our beautiful children, are sitting in front of computers too long these days. Children are being homeschooled and we're practicing social distancing and we sit. What advice can you give parents to help relieve some of the anxiety and stress in these households? So that's number 1. Number 2, do you have anything additional that you'd like to share with us for parents and adults who have children on the spectrum or have ADD or have ADHD or NDD? Does anybody know what NDD is? Nutritional deficit disorder. And there is such a condition.
I was going to say, is that a DSM?
No, NDD. Nutritional deficit disorder.
I don't think it's on the DSM.
And then finally, the last question is, we would appreciate a few tips about what we can do to maximize our overall brain health. And what do you suggest we do for our children's brain health? Are omegas good for children? Because that is a question I've had asked to me. And I think if we can get it on record that Dr. Sears says it, we're golden, right? So thoughts or feedback or questions, that's, I think, tomorrow night. And then the trainings are going to be phenomenal, but we're going to do something so fun tomorrow night. Wait till you see what we do. It's going to be a blast. We're going to actually do something very interactive, all of us. And that's all I'm going to say. I just want to give you a little tease to really call your new reps, call your sleepy reps, get them on. My poor new representative who's in my family, I didn't make it clear tonight how she has to get on this, but she knows how she's getting on tomorrow night, let me tell you. So my bad, but you know, oh well. You just have to let go. And there are some big lessons tomorrow night. And I think I'm going to post again what's going on globally in October. Our next Take Action Tuesday event is going to be on September 29th at 7 o'clock. Did I write that down yet? 29th. And that is going to be very interactive. We reps, Juice Plus reps, are going to pay one fee, and it's going to be quite small, and we will be able to join all the conferences globally. So we'll be able to join the US conference, we'll be able to join the UK conference, we'll be able to join the Australian conference, we'll be able to join the Mexican conference, the Israeli conference, the I'm missing one. Israeli, drats. There are a whole bunch of them, and so you get to decide. I'm definitely going to go to the U.S. I'm definitely going to go to Australia because I really like the way the Australians train. Not to mention their accents. I really love their accents. I might go to the U.K. I would love to think that I could go to, I'm going to go to Mexico just because this guy that is running Mexico is super dynamic and he will do anything to help you grow your business in Mexico. So I want to get to know him. If not, certainly he's not going to know me, but I'll get to have a feeling for the kind of character the guy has. So that's coming in October. So we've got a very busy October. Yes, Susie.
So are we buying tickets for conference?
Yes. Well, no, you are registering for conference is what we're doing. We're registering for conference. And when you register, I'm looking it up right now, Susie. When you register, oh, that's such a cute picture of Jay sitting there, Susie. Thanks for sharing it. When you register for conference, it's a global online events. There's the Canada conference. I forgot the Canada conference. You can go to all of the conferences. I think we will be assigned a number and you just type in your number and you can go to all of them. And they start on October 3rd and it ends on November 22nd. Israeli ends on the 22nd. Mexico is on November 14th. And Canada's November 7th, and then everything else is in October. Oh, the Emirates is going to have a conference too. So, I mean, don't, if you're curious, get on the first, the opening speaker and see what they've got going. And we pretty much know what our events look like, at least in the United States. We always have an opening doctor, right? And then we have business trainings the rest of the time, both from corporate and the field. So I think everybody will follow that because we're going, yes, we're global, but we're all marching to the same or dancing to the same music. The money is, they're trying to make everything across the board as equal as they can. And it'll take a little while, but they're working on it with diligence. Did that answer it, Susie? Any other questions? Les?
Can we assume that there will be translation for the international speakers?
Yes, you
Yeah?
can assume. Yes, you can assume there will be.
Okay.
I mean, if you even go on your virtual office, if you go on the little globe and you click country, at least now when the country's information comes through, it comes through in English. It used to come through in whatever. So they've been working on that.
Okay.
Question.
All right, good.
Anything else, anybody? I know next week we have Beth Meyer coming on and she's going to be training and she's a little dynamo, kind of like somebody else we have on our team that's small but powerful. I think Susie and Donna did a great job tonight. Thank you so much. It was really fun learning from you, and I thought you took excellent notes. So
It was fun to be there.
I appreciate that. And
Who's going next year?
What?
Who's going next year?
Sue. Okay, Sue O'Shea, Ham,
Joanne.
Joanne, Kathy Batts. Who else?
Leslie.
I want to go.
Put your hand up. Put your hand up.
Jason. Come on, Jason.
That would be fun if everybody went.
Fun? Oh
Amanda,
my gosh.
I
That
would,
would be fun.
I look at there's it, Melissa. I would absolutely, I'd probably start to cry. I will start to cry when all you guys go. I'll tell you that. We are growing, your business is like, I think of my business like, this is going to sound weird, but I've said it to you guys enough. I think of my business like I think of my body. My body has muscle memory. When I work out, when I do yoga, my muscles, certain muscles are firing and they know exactly what to do. When I'm on my elliptical, they know what to do. When I'm on my power plate, they know what to do. Same thing happens with your PB qualifications. You get a muscle memory and you work at it, and then you don't even have to think about it anymore. It naturally occurs. Same thing with POB qualification. You work at it, and then all of a sudden it hits, it stays. You've got a muscle, your business has a muscle memory. So don't get discouraged and don't lose your enthusiasm because, just remember what Churchill says, when you're walking through hell, just keep walking. So let's just keep walking. Let's just keep doing what we're doing because what we're doing matters. And let's get creative on how we're approaching people and who we're talking to. I mentioned it a month ago that I started from the back of my alphabet on all my contacts, and I'm just up to S now, and I'm getting all kinds of conversations going. So think outside of the box and then share what you're doing. Where are you going to reconnect with people? I'm getting much better at pirating information and then putting it on Instagram, and I have it go right to my Facebook too. But it matters. So be creative with your business, okay, everybody? Anything anybody else wants to say or comment?
Hey, I wanted to share with an idea I came up with today and see what you guys think. I actually was talking to Dawn Spolidaro. She had called just to see how I was doing. We started talking and I came up with this idea on the phone, and tell me if I'm nuts or if anybody wants to join me. But I said, people are getting burned out on just Zooms and listening. They're on for work and they're on with the kids, and it's a really hard way to communicate. And unless you can have, we can't have outside things here in Florida because it's so flippin' hot. You can't sit outside for 30 minutes. But I thought of maybe a more like interesting Zoom. And so I was telling her that somebody that does, I can't remember the name of the company, but anyway, it's a wine company. They sell wine, like organic wine and all this stuff, something in cellars or whatever it is. Anyway, so she invited me to this thing on Facebook, and she said, we're going to have a virtual wine tasting. So I said, okay, I'm in. Wine, I'm going. So she said, yeah, it's going to be this night. And I said, okay, count me in. So I said, can I bring a friend? So I invited a girlfriend of mine over, and she said, okay, it's going to be at 7:00. I'm going to drop off a little bag for you. And she came by my house with a little brown bag with a handle, and inside, those little containers you get like extra ketchup or extra something.
Yeah, salad dressing or something.
Yeah, a little salad dressing. So it's a little, small like this. And inside was 4 of them, 2 whites, 2 reds, and then some little Ghirardelli squares, and a thing of peanuts, and then like the information about what wines we were going to be tasting, and then instructions of what we were going to do and everything. And then at 7:00 we got on and did this wine tasting, and it was really fun. So I said to Dawn today, what about doing like a complete treat, to make the complete treats, and to call it something like healthy snacks, healthy back to school snacks, and do it with like neighbors or people that you've wanting to reach out to, and just say to them, would you like to come to a virtual, healthy snacks for school, healthy snacks for back to school, and give them, if they say yes, then, and she had it like so cute. She had a little, ribbon on the top, and she had a little sticker on that looks like the chalkboard, which is so cute. And she had my name on it, my friend Jackie's name on it, and she dropped them at my door. And I thought you could make some complete treat balls, like maybe 4 different ones or 2 of each of the same, put them in those like little miniature cupcake things. If you want me to stop, I will.
No, it's really
cute. And I thought, and then you could do like a virtual Zoom and say, okay, I'm going to show you how to make these. Okay, now that I made them, taste yours and see if you like it. And then you can put in a couple of gummy packs, you know, to do that, do like, you know, the recipes in there, and then tell them about, which I think I started to think about it last night when I went to bed. I couldn't go to sleep, but for some reason I was thinking about all this stuff, and I thought, well, do you realize for $50 till the end of this month, somebody can get on Juice Plus for themselves and their child and get Complete Shake for $50? That's cheap. I mean, that comes down to $12.50 a day, which is $6.25 per person, which is less than $1 a day for the shake, for the gummies, and for the capsules. I mean, we should be selling the shit out of this.
We should be.
Right? So
hey,
even for people that it's like, so you can do the whole presentation, and I'll do it, I don't care. And then, you know, have everybody get on, and then they can sample their things, and then show the little flyer and just say, for $50, you get this, and you get this, and you get this. You know, if you were thinking about trying it, try it for 4 months. If you don't like it, don't reorder. But you know, you're getting it free for the child. I mean, to me, it just hit me like, oh my God, what a deal.
It doesn't even need to be your neighbors. Like I've got
I love it.
friends in other towns
I
that
love
live here in little bags.
Yeah, you just have to drop your bags off wherever you want to go.
Yeah.
Great
Huge.
idea.
So start thinking of people you want to invite.
Okay.
Okay, love it, Susie.
Great idea.
Do it.
Okay.
Thanks, ladies.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi, great job tonight.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Good job, Donna and Susie.